on the political scene in Lubbock and across the South Plains.
And welcome back to the show. Here's a look at some of the political headlines of the past week. The Senate Tuesday unanimously confirmed the first African-American to ever lead one of our service branches. Vice President Pence making a rare appearance to preside over the historic vote. General Charles Brown is the new Air Force Chief of Staff after serving as commander of the Pacific Air Forces. And General Brown is a Texas Tech graduate, was an ROTC member here and a native of San Antonio. Early voting for the July 14th runoff election begins Monday the 29th, and Lubbock County Commissioners say the vote will be in regular in-person vote as the expanded vote-by-mail lawsuits continue to spin around the court system. Early voting will continue to be at local United locations, but with fewer voting machines because of social distancing. Some of the election day locations will also have to change, so check with the elections office before you go out. And speaking of the virus, Texas Tech revealing its plans for the summer 2 and fall sessions. It's called the Texas Tech Commitment. Classes will be a mix of face-to-face and hybrid online classes. Large classes will be moved to larger buildings, water fountains turned off, high traffic areas wiped down throughout the day, and 3- and 4-person dorm rooms have been reduced to just double occupancy.
As long as they keep implementing new strategies to fight off the pandemic and adapt to situations as they see fit, it should be hopefully successful.
Texas Tech will not mandate that students wear masks, but it is strongly recommended. You know, we talked about Democrats holding their online state convention on last week's show. That's now wrapped up, and we now look ahead to state Republicans and their in-person convention in Houston next month. Our John Engel looks into what role these conventions play as we creep into a big November election cycle.
Recent polls have President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden neck and neck.
Do you think it's that close?
I don't. I think when the time comes and when Joe Biden is let out of his basement and has to face President Trump one-on-one in debates, I think the contrast is going to be so striking.
The Texas Democratic Party hosting a virtual convention this week with more than 100,000 viewers, saying the state is no longer out of reach.
You have a president who makes it easier for us every single day. His mishandling of the healthcare crisis and the economy shows that there's an opening for an alternative in Texas.
Texas Democrats hope to register 2 million voters by November. The Republican Party of Texas has registered 89,000, just shy of its goal of 100,000, leading up to the state party convention in Houston next month.
The state is getting more competitive, and that is showing up in polling and has been for the last, 18 months at least.
That's our John Engel reporting. Lubbock County Republicans held their local convention last weekend, so let's spend 5 good minutes with County Chairman Steve Evans. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, good to see you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so explain to folks now how that went and what goes on at these conventions locally.
Well, the convention process, which starts at the precinct level, is all designed to elect delegates to each next level. Ultimately, on a presidential year, you wind up at the RNC at the top. So we start out at a precinct level, elect delegations to go to the county level, which we had this weekend. Then on the 16th to the 18th, we'll have the state convention, where we'll then arrange in caucuses and elect delegates to go up to the national convention and ultimately cast a vote for our nominee for president. Also at these conventions, we develop a platform, we develop topics, talking points that will kind of govern our party for the next 2 years.
Yeah, so it's a lot of business to do in kind of one day, but it starts long before all that.
It does. It starts at least a week before with committee meetings.
Sure. So what about the Lubbock County platform here? Let's start with that. What kind of is in it this time? How are those issues and the wording of those things decided on?
It actually didn't change a whole lot. You know, we talked last cycle, and we took this great big body of work and really, a lot of people say we shortened the platform, we collapsed it. What we did is created a mission statement. Historically, Lubbock always created its own big platform. We kept it locally and not a lot advanced up to state. So we split that into 2 bodies of work. We got a local small platform with principles and kind of a mission statement, and then we debate on a large block of resolutions that we send up to state to be considered at the state level. So really not a lot of changes. I've got it in my hand, just a few pages. From our last cycle, everything stayed the same. The notable differences were a very definitive statement that says we oppose contact tracing. So most conservatives against contact tracing. I think a lot of it is out of fear about how it would work. But for the most part, pretty much the same type of wording that we had last cycle.
What goes into getting something that you are passionate about here locally, like contact tracing, into a state platform once it gets there? You send it up there, but there's some lobbying that goes on with
Absolutely. It takes people willing to go to state, willing to stand up and testify at those committee hearings that happen before the convention, and go out and lobby. Ultimately, at state, each platform plank is voted on every single person. So it's the old Scantron card like you had in school, and you vote for every single up or down vote for every plank, and those are tabulated, and that becomes the state party platform.
Interesting. So do you have a lot of volunteers who are ready to jump in between the state convention and the election time in November, because there's going to be a lot of work, and a lot of work on behalf of candidates and helping folks out there?
Sure. We'll start getting those email requests and phone calls. I want to go to work. I want to help out, and we'll start putting those together and trying to place them with campaigns. Right now, we've got a late primary runoff, so candidates that have not been able to raise money, haven't really been able to campaign, they're kind of scrambling, trying to figure out how to campaign in this strange environment and get ready for that June 14th election.
So at that point, when those folks are dealing with those issues, where does the county party executive committee and the office and the folks, how do they help?
Well, we don't. I mean, that's the quick answer is in a primary, the party is neutral, because at the end of the day, the party's job is to facilitate the primary and have a fair primary. The chair's neutral, the executive committee's neutral. Of course, precinct chairs and any voter or member can go out and help any candidate they want. But as far as my office is concerned, and the chairmanship is a neutral party just conducting the primary. After that, into the November election, we'll help gather volunteers, go out on block walks, knock doors, make phone calls, all that good stuff.
Kind of the last go-around for you for county chairman here. Can you believe that? We're getting to that point. Cole Shooter is going to take over here starting in August. How active, though, will you be moving forward? I bet you're not going to move too far away from that.
Oh, I'm not going to go too far away. I'm going to stay close. You want to get out of the way and let the next chair kind of make his own way and do things the way he wants to. No chair ever agrees with their successor or the predecessor. So you just kind of get out of the way and make sure that you can advise on matters of law, rule, election code. Those are the things that are kind of sacrosanct that you've got to make sure are followed. But policy and the way they conduct themselves, they got to figure that out on their own. And Cole's going to do a fantastic job.
Yeah, he's been in here and he's a lot of fun too. So that'll be good. That'll be good for party and everybody involved. Congratulations on a block of really solid work on behalf of the party here.
Thank you.
And like I said, I know you're not going anywhere, so we'll talk to you soon. Steve Evans, right now county chairman for the Lubbock Republican Party. Good to see you.
Thank you. Likewise.
And straight ahead, some in Congress believe that America is close to what they call an eviction tsunami. We'll talk about why it's happening and what's being done about it here in Lubbock. Next on Talking Points.
Hi, I'm attorney Davis Smith. Every day, people